Ladies and gentlemen, creatures of the night, members of the Electro Company, tonight, the signal breaches containment. For the first time, the faceless anomaly known as chemical music steps into the lab. No cameras, no face reveal, and no filter, just signal and shadow. Okay, I'm just kidding. But how are you actually doing today?
Yeah, man, I'm doing all right. It's great to be here. I love the intro, by the way.
I know I gotta do something new every time I make a video. I don't know if it works out or not, but we'll see what happens if people con me in the YouTube comment section or. Alright. You ready to begin?
Yeah, man, I'm ready when you are.
Alright, I guess we'll start off with the elephant in the room. Your identity. Most artists who stay faceless tend to tease a face reveal or use blurs, but you kind of took a different approach. You almost erase your physical presence and let your avatar become your entire identity. So I want to ask what led to that decision? Was it a move for personal privacy, or you just want the art to speak louder than the person behind it?
Well, I've always like valued my privacy in a way, and I want to keep my artist identity to myself in a way because it's just like I feel like if I did show my face, I wouldn't have as much as a fan base as I have now. And I feel like that faceless kind of mystery persona actually really helped elevate my music into like a higher standard.
You said you feel like you might not have the same fan base if you showed your face, maybe because you think that the character of Chemical fits better than a regular person. So, do you feel that being faceless gives you more freedom rather than creating more pressure?
Well, in a way, it does give me more pressure because I mean, like, sometimes I do wanna show my face to people, but, like, especially, like, when I get the weird DMs from people that, like, are like, "Hey, reveal your face to me, I won't show anybody." It's just like, "Man, what's going on?" Like,
Yeah, that's wild. It's like as soon as there's a screen between people, they forget there's a human on the other side, and they like feel entitled to see you just because they like the music, and that's a lot of pressure to put on one person. I'm sorry you're dealing with that reveal your face DMs, man. I mean, it definitely complicates the boundary between trying to keep your personal life private.
it's not often, and, like, I respect my fans on a high level, it's just it can get a little pressuring when somebody, like, really wants to know what I look like. One day I do plan to do a face reveal maybe, I guess we'll see how that goes out.
Yeah, I think us fans will definitely be hyped when that day comes, but it's smart to protect your peace until then. It is interesting though because you've been faceless for so long and your avatar is the face of the brand. Like whenever I picture you, I just picture what your current PFP is. Whenever I think about you, I just think that, your name's Chemical. That doesn't seem like odd to me or anything. I don't think, that's your online name. I just genuinely think that's your actual name. And now it makes me wonder, are people like me? Like do you think people have built up this idea that you actually look like your avatar? Or do you think they're like in for a total surprise when you finally drop the reveal?
Well, I wouldn't say my avatar is, like, exactly like me, but, I mean, I have long black hair, I have eyes, like, all I really gotta do is dye the tips of my hair purple and, yeah, call it a day. But I have seen some, like, interesting fan art of me without my face mask that has scarily captured how I look like in real life, and it's just like, they know something, you know what I mean?
Whoa, that's actually insane. The fact that they're hitting that close to home just by vibes alone, it's kind of like some, FBI level fan art there. You sure not watching your camera or anything? No, but in all seriousness, that it does show how much they're locked into your brand, and I've noticed that you actually lean into that by using fan art for your official song covers. So, what makes a piece of art go from cool fan post to this is the face of my next single? Is it just like a vibe thing, or are you looking for something like specific?
Okay, well, sometimes I'll commission somebody to do, like, artwork for my, music, and I tell them, like, the vibe that I'm going for, I let them hear a snippet of my music or the said track that I am using for them,
Okay.
but sometimes I will build a song completely around the cover art because I think the cover just looks so good that it's like,
Oh,
"Huh, I can make a song out of that," right?
yeah.
And then use my creativity in a way. But I like to give, like, aspiring artists a chance to, like, really shine in, like, a light because it's really hard to be an artist nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with this one. Especially with AI making everything feel so disposable. Giving a platform to real creators is huge because it adds a layer of soul to the brand. And hey, speaking of layers, you've been adding some serious depth to your own character lately, right? I heard that it's officially canon now that your avatar is a vampire. So, at what point did that character stop becoming just a cool aesthetic and start becoming a legitimate identity with its own history?
Okay, so at first, my avatar was like a guy with brown hair and a purple hoodie, and that was like my first avatar. Like I made that like when I started doing music back in 2022. I thought the avatar looked nice and stuff, but I think it really needed an upgrade, especially around 2025 when I made the song "Bloody Fangs" with
Oh,
Roxas.
yes.
And that's when I started to really kinda, like, throw on, like, a vampire aesthetic, and then now with my shift to shoegaze music, of course, I'm still gonna be doing some EDM. With my shift to shoegaze, I feel like really drawing out that vampire aesthetic that I love in media so much into my music will really, basically fits, you know what I mean? And so I changed my avatar's look, I gave him, like, vampire clothes, dyed his hair. I didn't really change too much about him. I kept his eye patch, his mask, but he's just a vampire now.
It's interesting how that song with Roxas basically became the origin story for this new era. Since you're into shoegaze, which, it's already so moody and atmospheric, I think the vampire thing fits perfectly, and there's no time better to do it than now. But looking at it from an analytical perspective, because you already know how I am, what does vampirism actually represent for music? Is it like, I don't know, maybe a sense of isolation and being an outsider, or is it more about the hunger and, drive to keep creating?
I don't really know. Like, I kind of like the vibes and the aesthetic of vampire in medias, like Alucard from Helsing or another Alucard from Castlevania. Like, a lot of those are like really cool vampires. I guess maybe I like the idea of. That's a really tough question. I might have to get back to you on that one.
Hey, no worries at all, man. Sometimes the best art comes from a feeling you haven't fully put into words yet. If it's mostly about that legendary, what did you say his name was? Alucard? Yeah, Alucard level trip for now, then that's a vibe in itself. But now it makes me wonder, when you're in the studio, or wherever you might record, who's actually writing the song? Is it the real you expressing personal feelings? Or are you writing from the feeling of is it the real you expressing personal feelings, or are you writing from the perspective of the chemical persona, the vampire living in that aesthetic world?
A lot of my songs are a mix of both. So it's like my vampire aesthetic mixes with like myself because a lot of my music is just me, how I am. I mean, obviously, I don't run the streets killing people as some of my song may suggest, but
Oh yeah.
um, I mean, like, it's just some of that stuff is just playful, like, oh, it sounds good, so I'm gonna say it. But, like, a lot of the songs that, like, are more you can kinda tell which ones are more personal, like Poison or Missing You or AI generated,
Oh yes.
like, uh, All I Want Is You and maybe even Obsession are more like me, you know what I mean?
Okay, okay, so you can change between the tone. I think who you actually are is more the foundation, and you build on that foundation with your whole chemical aesthetic and persona.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's interesting to see that difference where someone like Robopop might play a character that contrasts with her real self. You're building chemical right on top of your own foundation, and since music is so emotionally charged, I'm curious, is there a specific feeling, like maybe anger, loneliness, or even obsession, that you struggle to show people in real life but feel easier to pour into the music?
Um, I It really is kinda hard to express certain emotions. I guess in real life, the emotions that I have trouble expressing would probably be my, I guess anger or maybe kinda sadness or like a kinda guilt maybe. So
Okay.
I feel like those I can really push more into music, and it, like, helps me make the song more hitting, I guess, is the word.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that because I once famously said that music possesses a profound ability to mirror the human soul. And people often overlook a lot of lyrics in songs because they just want to rather jam and find the song catchy rather than, actually interpret what the lyrics mean. And so songs often get overlooked. And I'll look on Genius or I'll listen closely to a song and be like, oh my God, that's what that means. And really, when I looked at your song Poison, that's what sparked this creativity in me. And I really gotta say that you are the foundation of the Electro Company's new era because without you, I don't think I'd be interested in music or doing anything that I am now.
Nah, don't say that, man.
Now, I gotta give you your flowers, bro. Without that foundation, the Electro Company wouldn't even exist on the way it is right now. But look, since I'm the overanalyzer, I pride myself on catching every detail, but sometimes there's some songs that were uploaded to Genius and I had to re-upload them myself. And sometimes I can get things wrong, so I want to ask, is there any lyric in your catalog that fans constantly get twisted? Something everyone sings one way, but you actually wrote it as something else?
Yes, all the fucking time. When I first started music to my 5 people, 5 fans in
Wow.
2022, I released a song called Screaming Session. And the lyrics were, your blood is so viscous, your bones they're so tough. But a lot of my fans texted me were like, yeah, a lot of my 5 fans texted me were like, "Did you say your balls are tough?" Like,
What?
what?
Oh my god.
To this day, I still get asked that.
Damn, and that song's like what? Coming up on 4 years old now? And oh my
Don't say
god.
that. That kind of hurts. 4 years old.
You're turning unk status. What, you're gonna be 22 soon, man?
Yeah, man. I'm
And
gonna be 22 in March.
you're still so early in your career, but the potential you've shown is honestly astonishing. I mean, looking back at your first official drop, Fuck Love, which was already very polished, the mixing was great, to, where you are now of Toxic and all that diss track stuff that you got going on. It's just an insane evolution. And the fact that you've done almost all this self-taught, it's incredibly admirable. It just shows that you put in the work, and this is more than just a hobby, it becomes your life.
Um, 99% of, like, my music career is self-taught because when I first started, I had a friend who showed me, like, the ropes of FL Studio, which is what I use to record my music in, and pretty much ever since that, it's just been me learning how to mix, and I guess taking criticism from, like, other artists and musicians really helped.
Yeah. If there's one thing I've always respected about you is your mindset. A lot of artists get defensive if they aren't constantly praised 24/7, but you actually use that feedback to level up. Now, obviously, I've shown you a preview of my songwriting video, which currently isn't posted right now because I'm still developing a bit. And I was a bit harsh on some things, but you acknowledged that feedback, you agreed to some things, and you didn't like, hiss back at me or anything like that. And I really appreciate because it's rare to find an artist who actually handles growing pains as well as you do. You don't let like past technical burdens or hurdles stop you or anything like that. You just get better because you know how to grow. But speaking of that growth, earlier we talked about the vampire persona is an exaggeration, but the emotions are real. Do you ever surprise yourself with the headspace you go into for a song? Like, how do you even tap into that dark side when you're really just a chill person in reality? Do you ever go back to the track and think, "Damn, did I really just go that dark?"
With certain songs, yeah, but, like, I feel like I write them in a sense to where, like, I mean for them to be kind of exaggerated a little bit, I guess. Maybe the only song that kinda, like, surprised me a little bit was Psycho, because I was
Oh, yes.
especially because, like, how, like, I sounded on that song, like, it was one of my best mixed songs, and, like, the lyrics on it are, like, top tier.
See, I'm glad you brought up Psycho because you're right. The mix on that is incredible, and it really highlights those smaller details that, stay with us listeners. For instance, I noticed that the girl laughing in the middle of a verse, and you did something similar at the end of Missing You. What's the intent behind that? Is it meant to be a sign of that psychotic break, or is it more of a dark enjoyment of the chaos you're creating in the songs?
Okay, so the laughing at the end of "Missing You" was just me laughing at the end of the track, just being a little whatever. It was something I added. I didn't really think too much of it, but, um, I don't think it really fit the vibe too much. I just thought it was funny, and the one for "Psycho" was, like I just asked a friend at the time to just throw something together, and that's what she put. I thought it sounded really good with the song, so
Oh my god, you have no a clue how much I love that part of the song. I think it's around the 53rd second mark. I put that on so much. That is definitely the best part of the song. I'm so glad that, she put that in there because that is like the most memorable thing that you've ever done in a song besides the Green Goblin laugh and Red Dot. It's absolutely scary how these stick to my head, and no matter how far I'll go listening to other music, I'll come back to your songs and I'll still know the exact timestamps of my favorite parts.
yeah, it's a little scary, it's a little scary.
Call it scary, I agree. I call it research though. But seriously, knowing these tracks inside and out makes me curious about your own perspective. What do you consider your flagship song? Like, if you could only play one track to represent your entire career so far to someone who's never listened to you, well, what are you gonna choose? Does the new Vampire era take the lead? Is it maybe some of your more popular songs? Maybe a collaborative song to show off your dynamic? What do you think?
Gauging based on how the person is, if they look like if they're a scene head, definitely Poison, like, that's, like, my favorite. Poison or AI generated, maybe Missing You, like, it would be one of those 3. But if they're, like, your average, like, everyday person that you see walking the street, probably Psycho, maybe.
Yeah, I noticed a duality in your work. So the songs, they feel like a peek into a real person in a sense because when I look at All I Want Is You or I Love You or Goodbye, you can really see that vulnerability and honesty while there's those collab songs where the vampire persona goes full aggressive. Like for example, in your songs Red Dot, Bloody Fangs, Bounce Bitch, Wake the Dead, all those have that merciless aesthetic where you use lyrical play where you might be dissing somebody or you might just have that over the top murderous vibes. So it's great you have that balance. But speaking of that unexpected, has there ever been a track that you didn't think was your best work or maybe that you didn't even like that much that ended up becoming a fan favorite or blowing up?
Screaming Session, it was, like, my 2nd song I ever recorded. I recorded Slasher, a lost version that we don't talk about, not the one that is available that I did as a feature, and then I recorded Screaming Session, and it kinda, like it on YouTube surprisingly got 23,000 views, like, in, like,
Ooh.
2 months. So I was like, "Holy shit, why do people like this song so much? It's kinda ass." Especially as I get, like, more developed into my artistic career, I look back on my older stuff and I'm just like, "Ew."
Yeah.
Another one would probably be AI generated. It's not that I didn't like it, I mean, it's one of my favorites, I just didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did. Like, especially with a song like Poison featuring Cyan and Robopop,
Yeah.
where it would obviously blow up because they're 2 amazing talented artists.
Oh, yeah. I feel that in my soul because I do the exact same thing. I look back at some of my old 30-minute videos with like 300 views, like the which Road Pup songs have a glitch stutter in them, or the Poison or Slay or Covered in Blood over analysis. And I just cringe at the editing. I'm like, damn, what was I thinking back then? Yeah, sure, I was learning. I'm still learning CapCut now because I'm basically self taught. But it really shows that shared creative struggle where you're learning in public. But since we both know we're in that headspace of constantly trying to level up, what do you think is the final boss of being an underground artist? Is it a technical grind of pushing out music or trying to keep your identity unique so you don't blend in with everybody else? What do you think the hardest part about it is?
I guess the hardest part would be being unrecognizable and, wanting to, like, promote my music to certain people that I think would enjoy it and then, like, kinda, like, brush you off like, "Hey, you know, I ain't gonna listen to that shit," like and then, I don't know, maybe, like, I guess the grind is pretty hard. Not the making music or the process, but, like, the promotion is really hard because sometimes TikTok will put you in, like, a TikTok jail that has, like, 200 views every video or, not finding which tags to use could be pretty hard, like, trying to decide which ones to use. That can be a little challenging.
TikTok jail is a real thing, man. It looks like you're at the mercy of an algorithm that doesn't even have ears. I mean, I can relate to that with some of my YouTube shorts. I think will perform well and just absolutely bomb. So it's kind of crazy that promotion's harder than the art itself. But since those short form apps can have such a coin flip to them, but since those short form apps can have such a coin flip to them, how has that affected where your home is? Out of SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube Music, which one feels like it actually rewards you the most with the work that you put in? Where have you seen the most real success?
Definitely Spotify. Poison got over 250,000 streams, and
Whew.
a lot of my songs are in, like, the 20,000, 15,000 mark, so it's especially now, like, I think you Spotify is one of my better ones. YouTube has a decent amount of views, and I think SoundCloud's one of my, like, least amounts.
Wow, a quarter million on a single track is a massive win. That's not luck, that's the fan base forming. And I think you're right about SoundCloud because at one point it used to be this underground mecca where you would find the most great songs by the most unknown and underrated people. But now it feels like the discography is broken in a sense. It's undeniable that Spotify's algorithm actually puts you in front of people who like that dark trap or shoegaze vibe. And with that kind of momentum on Spotify, does it change how you approach your next rollout? Like, are you specifically building for the next algorithm now, or are you still letting the streams happen naturally?
There's a lot of competition on SoundCloud as well from, like, upcoming artists, and to me, I view it more as, like, brotherhood, like, we're, like, artists trying to, like, make it, but a lot of people try to turn it into competition because they are jealous that someone gets more views than them, or they're, like, upset that their music isn't as good, or maybe it's better than the people who do blow up, and they, like, feel a sort of resentment for that as well, so there's a lot of competition, especially on SoundCloud, but something like YouTube or Spotify, you kinda have your own little, like, domain in a way, you know what I mean?
That's a deep way to look at it. The brotherhood versus the competition. It's a shame that jealousy gets in the way of the art, but it is cool to see that the community aspect in place. Since Since SoundCloud has that social DNA, was that perhaps where you met some of your first real collaborators? Or did those connections like Rox's or Cyan happen more through the domain of other social media like I don't know, Instagram by chance?
Um, I find most of my collaborators just in Discord, believe it or not, like, they'll
Oh.
be in, like, a Discord server, and I'll be like, "Hey, you wanna make a song?" Or they'll hit me up, and with Robopup and Cyan, so I found Robopup in 2023 when she released her album, Disconnect, I
Connect.
believe.
Yeah.
And then I found Cyan when she released that song, Covered in Blood with Cyan, and I found Cyan and I texted him on Instagram, which I no longer have, by the way. I texted him on Instagram and I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, do you wanna make a song together?" And then when we made our song, I was like, "Oh shit, should we get Robopup on this? I think she would do really good." And then that becomes the song, Poison. But mostly I would find my artist that I would collab with through Discord.
What? I'm surprised by how much heavy lifting Discord's doing for the scene. We always talk about platforms where music lives, but the actual soul of collaboration happening in these private servers, it's like a digital version of the 70s rock scene, where everyone's just hanging out in the same clubs. Do you feel like you can kind of get someone's vibe better on Discord than you can on like other platforms, like maybe hitting them up on Instagram or something?
Well, a lot of artists would like especially back when I was a smaller artist, I would hit them up and they would like blow me off because like I would be kind of small, like maybe like 300 monthly listeners. But then when I ended up surpassing said artist, they would hit me up, say, "Hey, do you do collabs?" Blah blah blah. Like, so that's why it's a little hard to
Oh.
do music as like a smaller artist because you're still just starting. So people will like look at you like, "Oh, that's just a guy, who's doing this as a hobby or whatever."
That's the ultimate irony of the underground, right? They'll ignore your DM when you're only at 300, but they're the first ones back in your inbox when you hit a really good song like you did Poison, 250,000 views. But now the shoe's on the other foot. So what's your criteria? Do you prioritize paying it forward to the underdogs because you know the struggle? Or have you reached to a point where you have to be merciless with your time to make sure your own projects get the attention they deserve and to protect the brand that you've worked so hard to build?
Yeah, now that I'm, like, with all these numbers, it's definitely just a me thing. I'm joking, by the way. When I see a smaller when I see a smaller artist, I do wanna help them out because, like you said, I do remember where I start, but that's not how I view it. I view it as like, "Hey, look, I have these numbers, you don't really have a lot, and even if you do or don't have potential, I still wanna help you learn or, at the very least, be friends," because I don't look down at other people because they have less numbers than me or they do or don't do music. I view everybody the same, and when I put someone, like, with 100 monthly listeners on a song with me, I'll mix their vocals, do all that for them, and then send them the preset for it so they can use that mix in their future songs to help better themselves or something like that. And I try to, like, do it for free. Even though I do sell my features, I always say that, and then I'm just like, "You know what? I'll just give it to you," because I just feel like it. And you know what? I don't regret it because it's just to me, in a way, music is pretty fun, and I like collabing with people.
I see. So music, the main thing for you right now isn't about the money. It's just about the experience, the vibes, how you can make creativity with others and just expand out the community.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, money's nice, but to me, it's just like I enjoy music. I mean, when I was younger, before I even had a musical bone in my body, I would listen to music like Linkin Park or something, and like it would pull me out of like a dark place. So maybe like, what if I become that kind of something for somebody else, and pull them out of a dark place? That would, if I can do that and manage to do that to at least one person, I feel like my music career was, you know, amazing. Like it was meant to be. You feel me?
That's a heavy mission. To go from being the kid saved by Lincoln Park to being the artist who saved someone else, that right there is the ultimate full circle moment. Hey, if you ever hit that goal, the numbers on Spotify don't even matter at that point because you've already won. And it sounds like, despite all those TikTok shows we were talking about earlier and the gatekeeping, the heart of the underground is still about the connection. Looking at everything we've talked about, what's the absolute best part of the life for you? What's the thing that makes all these dark places worth it?
I guess the best part in a way is also contrasting to the worst part is not being known. I mean, like, you can go out in public and people won't recognize your voice or recognize your face, but I mean, I'm faceless, so they won't anyways. Or
Hey.
I could wear like, let's say, my merch out in public and nobody will like really say anything. So to me, it's just like, in a way, the privacy is nice, but I guess it's just you meet more genuine people in the underground than I think you would in, let's say, more mainstream setting.
Yeah, that's a heavy point. In mainstream, everything just seems like a PR stunt. I'll often see news articles, magazines, top 10 celebrities who don't like each other, even though they've like collaborated on songs or things of that nature. And it really brings up a good point that there's more genuine, real relationships with the underground scene because people are actually trying to help each other out. It's that authenticity that makes music hit harder. Since you're still operating in a space where you can be 100% genuine without the paparazzi trailing you or any of the fake industry games, what emotion do you feel you're able to express the best? Basically, what is the chemical signature feeling that you think fans connect with the most? Personally, I think it's the toxicity.
It really depends on, like, what other people think I do the best, not really for me. I mean, I make the songs that I make just to make them because I enjoy them and something I guess if I had to put it, like, what are the favorite songs I've done in a genre?
Yeah.
Probably shoegaze. I have a lot of unreleased shoegaze music now, and EDM music is pretty good. I guess my trap music, like Psycho and Horror Flick is good, but it doesn't, like, convey me as a person, it conveys more my persona than it
Mm.
does me, and to me, as I get older, because 'cause I'm a fucking unk, my music should, like, portray me more, I feel like. I mean, the persona's nice and all, but I feel like letting people see that part of you, especially if, like, it's something that you really need to get off your chest, is really gonna help you, more in the future.
Yeah, yeah, you're reaching that point where the music is becoming a mirror instead of just a costume. Psycho and Horflick are iconic, but Shoegaze has that soul searching quality that seems to fit where you're at right now. If this year is all about getting things off your chest through the wall of sound, who would you want to be by your side for that? Is there a specific artist whose shoegaze style really resonates with yours?
Honestly, I genuinely can't really think of any. I guess maybe Ivri, she wrote the song Tower of Memories. You can go ahead and play that on the screen right now.
Right when you left me, the tower of memories. I just want this movie to end in scotch, missing rainbows in my old consciousness. I never wanted moments I wish I could forget.
But I think she does a really good job at shoegaze, but I can't really think of any other ones that I really wanna collab with because I'm not really, like, new to the scene, but, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of artists can't really portray the emotions that I wanna convey into my music.
Yeah, I can see why you say that. That makes total sense. When your music is coming from such a personal foundation, you can't just plug and play any artist into the track. The mindset has to match. Ivory's work on the Tower of Memories definitely has that atmospheric weight, so I can see why that one sticks out to you. It's that exact level of high standard emotional storytelling that makes your sound so unique, you know? Because yeah,
Yeah, I don't wanna, like, jump on a song and, like, pour my heart out, and then somebody jumps on a song like, yeah, the Fitness Gram Pacer test, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I forget there's always a risk with collaboration. If the vibes don't align, the song is basically just dead on arrival. If that dynamic doesn't fit, no one wants to listen to it, honestly. But since I pride myself on finding those alignments in my video, I gotta know, how accurate am I? When you watch my breakdowns of your lyric and lore, are you thinking this guy gets it, or are you thinking maybe I'm just overanalyzing my way into a different dimension? Give it to me straight. Am I a genius or just a mad scientist in my lab?
okay, well, a lot of these are accurate, but some things I feel like I think just sound good together, and, like, when you, like you put it in a new light to me because I don't think a lot when I make music, I just like, certain things I'll think about, like, read between the lines and AI generated, like, come a little closer, like, you're leaning forward to your screen because I'm AI generated, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in your screen, and read between the lines is, like, a more of a lines of code, and then also it's a phrase, read between the lines, when someone holds up like 3 fingers. So
Yeah.
read between the middle or no, read between the index and the ring finger, and it's the bird finger, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
That is so smart. I didn't even know that part. Wow. See, you're teaching me new things while I'm also interpreting new things. Okay. As far as my audience goes, because I'm definitely going to make a lot of content on you. Obviously, we're making content right now. But what is one thing you want the Electro Company audience to understand about you? Because right now we're about to hit 1,000 subscribers. We're at about 70,000 monthly viewers. So definitely a lot of people are watching and some of the things I do, which includes things about you.
I guess just, if you like my music, then I don't know, I guess if you like my music, just, feel free to hit me up, I guess, like, on Discord, you can display my Discord on the screen or my TikTok. Um, because I don't really there's a lot of things about me that I feel like would kind of bore a lot of people, so I don't know exactly what to respond with to this question.
I gotcha. No problem. No dog. That was that same thing. I probably wouldn't know what to say either. I gotta make up like a word salad or something, you know? Okay. As far as the next evolution of your vampirical persona and aesthetic, what do you think's gonna come to that? Is it more the vulnerable side and letting off that, horror flick era, that psycho era and stuff?
Maybe my sassiness in songs, like with Psycho or Horror Flick, I have a little bit of like a undertone to them. Maybe I'll bring some of that into my like newer music, but other than that, like I don't know. You guys are just really gonna have to like listen. I have a lot of stuff in store.
Yeah, definitely. I know you had a lot of stuff going on last year. This year has been better because you just recently got your computer fixed, so now you can mess around in FL Studio again. I just know that I'm gonna see a lot of collaborations, a lot of music. I mean, you've already showed me a lot of snippets recently. There was that one Shoegaze snippet actually I really, really liked with LeXanax. Oh my god, her voice is so angelic.
If you want, you can go ahead and display the, Shoegaze song right here, the snippet that I'm gonna send you.
I wish you would see me, yet you refuse. You not, you not, you not.
And now I'm waiting for my time to come, staring blankly.
Eyes on your kiss me, eyes alone, eyes on your miss me, eyes you down.
Sorry about that. All right, and now I gotta ask. Speaking of snippets, you a lot of the time show me a bunch of snippets, right? And more often than not, I'll think the songs are like really, really good. I'm like, hey, when is this gonna release? And you're like, never. You disagree with me. You're like, hey, this song's not worth showing. It's just an old era of me. The mixing isn't there. It needs a remaster. And it makes me wonder, what makes you know that a song is finished and well enough to actually put out there? When there's people like me that constantly think nearly everything you make is good enough to put out.
As an artist, you can grow to be your own like personal critique, and I think you should be like your biggest hater in a way, but also your biggest supporter because if you hate some of the stuff you put out, you can think, okay, then what can I do better to make me like it more? So with a lot of the older stuff that I show you, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can re-record this, or maybe I can write a different flow up that would just sound a lot better than what I have right now, or maybe a different mix. Like I recently changed the mix from My Blade X Your Face to a new one, and same with Red Dot with Zealous Hurt.
Oh yeah, I like those new polishings that you're doing. I'm glad that you got the chance to do so. And it's really nice to hear those revisits again because I often hear a lot of songs. I think, damn, this would be really good if it got redone. Like, when I was doing my Robopub tier list videos, a lot of songs that ended up low because, they didn't sound good because the mixing wasn't right. And if they just got a revisit, they would have just ended up so much higher. So I'm glad to see that you're doing that. A lot of the songs that I'm doing on your ranking video right now, a lot of them don't have terrible mixing and stuff. There's just a few, like collaborative songs that you weren't the main artist in, where your vocals are clearly mixed well, but the other's artist is just isn't. So I'm glad to see that you can obviously revisit your stuff and ensure that nothing sounds horribly wrong. Do you write from real experience? Do you build made up stories? Or can things be both in a sense?
Yeah, it's definitely a mix of the two because, like, obviously the real stories I'm talking about in Toxic, stomping on his head in a truck stop. That's just a fucking like it's just lyrical play that sounds good, whereas something like, AI generated can be more or Missing You, especially Missing You because I'm obviously not a robot, um,
Yeah, real person
would
can
be
miss you.
more me, I guess.
Hey, speaking of robot,
I
have
have
you
e
ever been accused of being like an AI or something?
No, not necessarily, but a lot of people think my song AI generated was actually AI generated and not, like, actually me
Oh,
doing the vocals just because of the song name.
I see. So people, yeah, you gotta kind of watch out, especially in this era of the internet. Oh my goodness, I would not tell
Well,
you.
I made the song a little bit, like, right before AI really, like, popped off and became, like, widely hated. Like, at the time I made the song, it was still kinda like, "Okay, this thing is cool. This thing is funny. Will Smith eating spaghetti." Sorry, let me repeat that. Will Smith eating spaghetti. Like, haha, so funny. But now it's like, oh my gosh, you use AI, so like carbon in the air, I think. I don't really keep up with it too much. I know I don't use AI in my music, and I'm obviously not AI as well. So
Yeah, 100% because you definitely got to stay away from that stuff. When I see those AI songs on my YouTube feed, it's really annoying because it's pushing the algorithm's pushing that out as to opposed to real people just because AI is so popular right now. And a lot of underground people who actually deserve to get their music recognized are just being overshadowed by the most robotic, shit sounding audio you'd ever heard in your life. So I definitely appreciate you on not using AI for your music or anything to do with it. Um Oh, well, here's a good question. If 14-year-old you could see how you are right now, what do you think he would think of you?
He would probably really look up to me because I've always admired musicians, and when I was 14, I more so admired the aesthetic, like the clothing I wear now, or like people like that in general. So I think I would admire myself if I was looking at like the older me.
That right there is the ultimate win. Becoming the person your 14-year-old self would have penned on his wall. It shows that even the vampire aesthetic, the growth is real. But we gotta look at the future because fame's a different kind of beast. If you woke up tomorrow and were no longer underground, and if you were mainstream, what part of your identity was non negotiable, right? What stays exactly the same, and what do you think would have to evolve to handle that kind of spotlight?
Pretty much everything. I mean, I try to be as genuine as possible. I mean, I probably would be less active than I am, believe it or not, because I mean, it's a little scary, especially to blow up so suddenly. But I mean, after I feel like I've calmed down a little bit because I get really anxious with that kind of stuff, or seeing like a lot of fans or a bunch of follows. I get a little anxious with that stuff because it's just like, wow, people are actually taking the time out of their day to listen to me or enjoy my content. It's amazing. But I don't know. I feel like I would probably go radio silent for 2 or 3 days or something. I would definitely continue to do the same music that I like, or like I may do more music that is catered towards the audience that, like, let's say Missing You blew up, then I would do more songs like that, or if, a shoegaze song of mine blows up, then I would do more songs like that. Obviously, I'd still do the other songs because, I mean, I like doing, different genres because it's fun to me, and it's not the same repetitive song, stuff, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you gotta
yeah, I
find out
think
what works. Yeah.
yeah, I think I would probably pretty much stay the same.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I see similarity with you, what you just said. You said that, obviously, if a certain song blew up, you would, experiment more with that genre. I agree because on my YouTube channel, I started posting like a lot of short edits, and those blew up. So now I do those regularly. I'm posting like 3 times a week and stuff because the algorithm, in a way, kind of dictates what you do, but at the same time, you also want to do your own thing, so you have that same passion for it, and you're not just doing it because you feel obligated to do so. Woohoo. Okay, we've talked a lot about the underground scene. Is there any underground artists right now you want to give a shout out to?
Um, like friends of mine?
Yeah, anybody you think is underrated, you should go check out their music as well as yours. What do you think?
That's tough. Obviously, I shout out my boy Cyan,
Oh yeah. Oh my god, Sign is so good, dude.
Yeah, Zionide, I have songs with them, That Daylight, I'll send you the links to all of their songs.
Oh, 100%. I'll
Yeah,
make sure to put those in the description.
Zionide, That Daylight, Rockstus, Aqua's Death.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those two just had a song together. It's called Objection. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I'm gonna put that in the description. You guys have to listen to that one.
Yeah, I mean, just like I don't know, I have a lot of people I wanna shout out, so it's like
Can't put it on the spot. Like, damn, I
and
really.
I just can't, like, think right now because I'm so nervous because this is my first interview. Um, but yeah, I would definitely shout them out. Ash Gray as well,
Oh,
and
Ash Gray, yeah.
Iris Ashani, definitely.
Mr. Sonny. Okay, okay, yeah. Give me all those things. I'm sure, put those in the description. I'll also obviously put your social medias in the description and stuff. Oh man. This is so great to have an interview with somebody. It's like a different change of content. And I gotta like obviously know you more because a lot of these questions I haven't asked you yet. So it's kind of refreshing to have these new conversation opportunities and a lot of people to get to know you more because I know you got a lot of fans that would love to hear more from you. Even though you are pretty active on social media as far as Discord and stuff goes. So really glad that you have the community together and that not left in the dark and people feel alone as far as trying to get to know the artists better. Oh, here is a good one. When people hear the name Chemical, what do you want it to mean to them? Do you want to associate the music, your aesthetic? What do you think?
Honestly, just associate it however you want. Like, if you want it to mean my music to you or me as a person, as long as you're happy and you're not doing, like, anything wrong with that, I don't really care. Like, it can mean a lot of things because my music stands for a lot of things, you feel me?
Oh yeah, they definitely have to interpret it on different meanings. It's not just one universal thing. It's not like a textbook definition. So people can definitely associate it with many different things, and that's what really is admirable, that you can have so many things to interpret about it. So yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, sorry this has been weird. This is like very new to me to actually do something unscripted. I mean, sure I have like a list of questions to do, but obviously I can't predict what your response is gonna be, so I know things have been like a little awkward silence and stuff like that. I had a structure, but then I lost the structure because I wrote it on a piece of paper instead of having it online. But, it's okay. I'll learn if I ever do an interview, or if we ever do an interview at the end of the year or something again. I'll take what happened here and I can grow on it.
Yeah, we'd have to, like, especially at the end of the year after I've released a lot of the songs that I have planned. Yeah, we definitely have to do another interview and, basically judge how I am then versus now and
Yes.
just see how things go.
I agree. See the progression, what different styles, what collaborations you've had. Maybe see the difference in numbers that you've. Yeah, so I definitely would love to see that. Wow, that's like 9 months time. You sure you ain't gonna be busy playing GTA 6 or something?
Nah, bro, I ain't playing that shit.
What? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, with the amount of delays, I'm like, fuck this hype. I don't care anymore. It comes out when
I'm
it comes out.
joking. I'll probably play it. It sounds fun.
Bro, you already know. You got a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or anything?
PS5, I play stuff like
Woo!
Dead by Daylight. As bad as a game that is, I love it. Yeah, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite sometimes. I've only recently really gotten into it, and I don't know. I just play a mix of like everything.
Okay, you ever play games with your fans anytime?
Yeah, I actually just hosted a Among Us game night, which I will send you clips for that you can use for this video here. I posted some of the things on TikTok, like, hey, here, I do game nights, Twitch streams coming soon, things like that.
Definitely working on
So,
that.
yeah, I love to play games with my fans and stuff like that and really just be active in the community because to me it means a lot to me. Like without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So why would I push you guys away or treat you like shit? So of course I'm gonna like
Mm. Yeah, I'm so glad they have that mindset, because a lot of artists, they'll start off small like you are now. They'll have that community, and then as soon as they blow up, they just slowly start to abandon them and forget exactly where they came from, or who supported them first. And it's a really big shame to see that, because then you feel lost, and it's like, well, I like the music, but I don't like the artist as a person anymore, because they kind of abandoned their principles and stuff that they used to stand by, all because of numbers went up. So I'm definitely glad to see that you got that humbleness to you. I definitely know a few artists that they've lost their humbleness, and it's really a shame to see kind of that downfall in a sense. But nobody else has noticed
sad.
it. So you can.
Sadly, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. You're gonna cringe behind this. Ready? We're gonna we're gonna cut.
I guess you. I guess you.
Okay, I don't know what I'm laughing at. I swear I don't do drugs, guys. This was Dr. Electro at the Electro Company. The lab remains sealed and the vampire remains faceless, but the signal is stronger than ever. The interview is now complete and the transmission is ending. Ensure you follow ChxmicaL on all platforms. I'll have the description. Fuck! I'll have the. Ow! Oh. God damn it. I'll have the links in the description below, and you can give them a follow there. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I'll edit
There
this
you
in
go.
post, obviously.
You'll fix it.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Fuck.
Maybe
This
you'll have
was
a
so
blooper.
good.
Maybe you'll have a bloopers video.
Maybe. Post this as short or something. Oh, man. I'm so glad you gave me this opportunity. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome, dude. I really appreciate that. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I got you, man. I'm gonna head out because I get a song to record. You feel me?
Hey, get on that grind. Appreciate you. You take care.
Gotta finish that Shoegaze song with LeXanax.
Hell yeah, man.
I know I sound a little different than you expected me to sound in VC as well.
Respect it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you expected like fucking corpse husband or some shit. No, I'm just a dude.
I'm so glad to see that.
All right, man, you take it easy.
Hey, you take it easy, and remember, only hot girls listen to ChxmicaL.
That is true. And guys, you know what? We're inclusive here.
Hey, only hot people listen to ChxmicaL.
Yeah, it should be that. Only hot people listen to ChxmicaL.
And there it is. You heard it from the man himself. My name is Dr. Show with the Electro Company. You just watched the first episode of my interview series. Perhaps I'll catch you in the next one, if there is a next one.